Ben Cherington was busy claiming some other no-name, no-potential player off waivers. The guy who should have gotten this job received quite the recognition. And in the same room, by the way. Good morning to you. Good Tuesday morning. I'm Dejan Kovacevic of DK Pittsburgh Sports. This is Daily Shot of Pirates. It comes your way bright and early every weekday. If you happen to be into football and or hockey, I also offer daily shots of Steelers and Penguins in the same place that you found this. Congratulations to Matt Arnold, the general manager of the Milwaukee Brewers, the highly successful Milwaukee Brewers as related to their payroll, their market size, which is only 2/3 the size of Pittsburgh, and all that other stuff. Because he was named Major League Baseball's Executive of the Year yesterday at the general managers meetings in San Antonio, Texas. And yes, they're all in the same room, applauding and so forth whenever it's announced. The two runners-up were the general managers of the Royals and the Guardians, both of whom had terrific seasons themselves, and in the case of Kansas City, soared up from losing 100 games to make it into the playoffs because, you know, it doesn't take a decade to turn things around. Now, I'm not bringing up anything new here. Everyone knows my feelings on Arnold versus Cherington, and they actually extend all the way back to 2019 before either of them was chosen, and I wrote a column advocating for Arnold over Cherington. And as it would turn out, Bob Nutting and Travis Williams, who were conducting those interviews jointly, even though they'd come down to these two as their finalists and had come so close to getting the right guy and sparing themselves all kinds of grief in the process, chose the wrong guy. And believe it or not, I don't just say that because the Brewers have finished in first place, because they've made the playoffs every year that Arnold's been in charge. I can say it just based on what he did in 2024 in Milwaukee. You can look at Corbin Burns getting traded, at Brandon Woodruff missing the entire season, and say, how on earth could the Brewers have bounced back from that, losing two spectacular arms like that from their rotation? But they did, because he got it done. You could say, how could they recover from Craig Counsell defecting to the Cubs? Counsell was seen, and not without cause, as a big reason that the Brewers had built up that winning culture. But Arnold replaced Counsell with Pat Murphy, who became instantly, and I mean wildly, beloved by the fans there for his very down-to-earth, open, honest, real way of communicating with people. Not that Counsell had an issue with that, but Murphy was just a lot more of that everyman that they love there. Milwaukee's got a lot of that, working class town vibe to it. And then you know about their system, and you know about the other stuff that they've done in terms of acquisitions. I'm going to throw one out there that I'm not sure too many know about. Before Jackson Chourio, their wonderful young, I guess you can't call him a prospect anymore because he was just a 2020 rookie. But Arnold got Chourio signed before he'd ever played a single inning of a big league game to an 8-year, $82 million contract. Because Arnold and his staff had the belief in the player, in the person. And Arnold, from what I'm told, had the competitive moxie and the fire to go to Mark Attanasio, the owner up there, and say, hey, I think this is actually a great investment for the Brewers. This kid's going to keep fans coming into American Family Field. This kid's going to make a big impact in our team's success overall. By signing him to an 8-year contract now, we get to keep him through 2 additional years over what we normally would, meaning 2 years, which would be free agency. And yes, I think the same thing that you just thought when that comes up, which is, where's that initiative? Where's that aggressiveness here related to Paul Skeens? For the first 3 years of a big league player's career, they basically get the equivalent of minimum wage, which is around $700,000. And that's what Skeens got in the 2024 season. So the deal that gets made is that the young player and, of course, the agent say, listen, I'd rather not wait 5-6 years to start getting the big bucks, or even 3 years to get to my arbitration period. I'd rather just start making that money now. I'd rather have it guaranteed. I'd rather have it locked in. What if something happens to me? So Chourio gets the $82 million, and it's 1,000% guaranteed. The Brewers, not just on the baseball side, but also on the business side, know that they have this player. Their fans know that they have this player. They commit to spending on the team, and the team makes more money. And see how this can go? You see how this can go? The literal only thing that separates Milwaukee from Pittsburgh is the people running the franchise. Throw out all the excuses. It's the people running the franchise from the top down. When we come back, J1Q.
It's Gun Storage Check Week. Help prevent unwanted access to your firearms. No one wants their unsecured gun to be used in an accident, a suicide, or a crime. Use lockboxes, safes, and locks to secure your firearms. Learn more at gunstoragecheck.org. That's gunstoragecheck.org. Brought to you by NSSF, the Firearm Industry Trade Association.
Today's J1Q comes from Todd, who says, utility player? That's a strange placement for Brian Reynolds. For anybody who doesn't know what Todd's talking about, Reynolds was announced yesterday. If you don't know about this, you might want to sit down first. He was announced yesterday as a nominee for the Silver Slugger Award, but in the category of utility player. Now, you and everyone else can be entitled to your opinion of Reynolds and whether or not he's a superstar or this or that or whatever. But utility player? Has there ever been an award nominee that came complete with an insult? Reynolds plays every day. It's part of who he is. It's part of what makes him so respected in that clubhouse by the coaching staff, by Derek Shelton, because he's out there all the time. He's suited up every day. When he isn't in left field, he's the DH, because it's close to impossible to take him out of the lineup, out of this lineup. So how does this happen? I went and looked into the nature of the award and what the description is, and what they say about utility player is just a player who can play multiple positions. Well, even there, what are we talking about? He can play left and he can play center. That's not utility anything. There's never been a definition of the term utility as it applies to the sport of baseball that's encompassed being able to play a corner outfield position and center. So I don't know, maybe they're counting those grounders that he took at first base as part of infield practice in September. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. It does, however, feel like yet another one of those signs of disrespect or just plain old ignorance of a player because he happens to play for the Pirates. Paul Skeens, I strongly suspect, is going to continue to avoid such treatment because he's just a unicorn in every way. But for Reynolds, I just, like, I got it. Jared Triolo got the Gold Glove Award, not just nomination, but the actual award a couple days ago as a utility player. All right, that made sense. He played third base, second base, even a little bit at short. He can do anything. I'm pretty sure, and being serious here, he can do anything on the field except pitch and catch. But Reynolds, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's nice that he would be considered for anything because I think he's worthy of it. I think he's just a terrific ball player and a terrific guy, by the way. But yeah, this might be one of those where if they have some kind of stage for this or whatever, where you walk up there and you just kind of hold the award and just tilt your head a little bit looking at it. I appreciate the question. I appreciate everybody listening to Daily Shot of Pirates. We're going to do another one of these tomorrow when no doubt there will be some other 115 hitting free agent or waiver claim of, I don't even know what position that dude was, let alone his name, meaning the one from yesterday. But hey, urgency and all.